Yes, this is your favorite show, Sports Unfolded, with your favorite hosts, Eric and Ron.
What is going on, sports fans? Guess who's back? Back again. Took a little week off. You know, I need a vacation every so often.
Yeah, it must be nice to be able to go hang out with Shaq.
Yeah. Met Shaq, Nick Saban. Yeah, a lot of fun I had. A lot of fun. I will say you are watching the best sports podcast on the planet, Sports Unfolded, where we cover all of the top sports stories that happened this past week. Your host, the main man right here, Eric, and my other main man right there, Ron. How are you tonight?
I'm doing okay. I surprised myself this week, and I actually watched the opening day baseball game.
Opening day yesterday in baseball. Well, it's weird though, because they say opening day, but then the Dodgers had already played, which games that counted. So I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, opening day. We'll have a little fun with that today. A lot of NFL news, believe it or not, even though the season is not, currently in any kind of stage. Basketball, NBA, and NHL. But if you're out there and you're joining us live and there's something you want to talk about, please join the chat. Let us know so that we can make sure that we cover what you want to talk about as well. So we are definitely fan interactive. We definitely want to have some fun. We want to thank those that are helping support us and help us grow. 990 WBOB, Providence, Rhode Island. Thank you for putting us on every Saturday, as well as WDJY 99.1 FM in Dallas, Georgia. You guys have been amazing every Saturday at 1 p.m. and SECTV, Public Access Channel 12 in Southeast Connecticut on every Tuesday night. If you're listening or joining at any point during the course of that, come join us every Friday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yo, James, my man right there, covered me last week. Yes, I am back and excited to be back. What a great job, though. Thank you for that. It's all right, James. Still no chats there, Ron. Still struggling. Ron is trying to fix some technical difficulties there. But again, want to thank everybody out there. Oh, my man B, what's going on up in the house tonight? Oh, I missed you guys, man. It was a long week last week, but again, got to meet Shaq, which was really cool. Got to see Nick Saban as well, a great motivational speaker. So a lot of cool things that happened last week for me. But Bryce has joined us as well, Ron. So really excited to see. Got B back in the house. Predictions later today. So make sure you stick around for that so that you guys can definitely get back on the chart. Nice week last week for Ron on that one. But Ron, I'm gonna ask you a question before we get into the sports aspect of it. I've emerged from the shadows.
I cannot. Oh, there it is.
Kyle, what's going on as well, Kyle? Moo Dang has gone. Moo Dang is, come on, Moo Dang died? No way. Moo Dang passed away? I don't know. Is that true, Bryce? I am shocked right now. Kyle's on the show tonight as well. Thank you, Kyle, for joining. So, Ron, I'm driving home today from work and almost got in a car accident. And I want to ask you a question. And let me know how
I would have to call James.
I mean, let me ask you how you would handle this. So somebody's coming over to your lane, right? Clearly don't see you. Something an infection check. Oh my goodness. No, Moo Dang. I'm so sad, Bryce. That is horrible. Poor Moo Dang. He saw the news article. Man, Moo Dang, that didn't last very long. So I beat my horn. right? To obviously get their attention, because I don't think they realized that they were pretty much halfway in my lane at that point, and I was in the breakdown lane. But but instead of like, pass, say sorry, or do anything, all they did is literally I had to slow down so much that they just went right back and went back over in front of me. And I'm like, that takes some real stones, man. Like,
and you're asking
how you would handle
me, notorious for losing Christmas cards,
because
I would do.
I want you to make me feel better about saying that's what I should have done, because I just kind of drove by and when I passed and I was like, whatever. I feel like you would have handled that situation a little differently, Ron.
Yeah, probably. I probably would have passed him, pulled in front of him, and then basically almost come to a stop. Just right? So like, that way,
that's what I felt. I should have done something where, make a gesture. I didn't do that. I didn't do anything.
No.
Very blah.
I would have had to do something.
Very blah. But
this is why I say all cars should be equipped with missiles and oil slicks.
All right, Spy Hunter. Oh, yeah. Spy Hunter.
It wouldn't help. It wouldn't hurt to have a couple of eggs that you can toss back and a banana peel.
Call that a brake check, Ron, right? I should have brake checked. I don't know. I don't know if I'm too nice. At least you didn't demolish 2 deer at one time. Yes, Bryce, car accident, dealing with that damage. 2 deer at one time. He didn't hit 1 deer. He hits 2 deer. That's pretty impressive.
To do that with birds, not deer.
Unless they're the Bucks, the Milwaukee Bucks. We don't mind if you hit 2 of them. 2 of them. But Ron, I think it's time to get into the show. In our leadoff story, Sierra's boyfriend, husband.
Sierra. Oh. I'm like,
her husband.
Did I miss something?
Her husband has signed with the New York Giants. Oh, that would be Russell Wilson. And the question would be, should he be the opening day starter? In his mind, he said yes. What do you think? I killed the stars of Bambi.
Well, they have. Who was the other one again? Who'd they sign?
Jameis Winston has also been signed by the.
Yeah, so Wilson is the starter. I mean,
what about Tommy Cutlet?
What?
Tommy Cutlet, Tommy DeVito. I mean, he could still start too.
Oh, come on! I think.
So this, I guess the biggest question in this entire thing, Ron, is why would they sign Wilson and Winston, and yes, it killed both of them. Netflix they got rid of the show because Bryce took him out. But I will say, does this not pretty much solidify that they're not drafting a quarterback with the 3rd overall pick? Or do you still feel they go that route?
Yeah, they're going to go that route.
But how does that make sense when you get 2 veterans? Like if they got one of the 2, like when they got Jameis Winston, I said, okay, they're going to draft a quarterback. But now you get Russell Wilson. What are you doing with a rookie quarterback?
One of them's going to get cut. One of them's going to get cut. You watch.
I don't know. I think Russell,
they're going to see which one wins out and then cut the other and bring in the rookie. I think that's what they should do.
I don't know. Lame duck coach. That's a question there. Or Brian Daboll is right. Does he needs to win? He needs to win more than anybody.
But he hasn't had anything to win with.
His best opportunity is going to be Russell Wilson, though. I think that gives him a better chance than anybody else.
Basically, his deal is see what he can do with this team. I don't know.
Like, we watched him in Pittsburgh. He went 6-5, 63.7% completion percentage, 2,482 yards, 16 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, average 7.4 yards per attempt. Russ.
Yeah.
Not horrible numbers, but if you're looking at the talent that Pittsburgh had, from a wide receiver standpoint, from an offensive line, running back situation, a lot better than what the Giants had. And he was 6-5 and eventually got benched.
Yeah, and you're also in a division with
The defending
Washington,
champions.
Philadelphia, and Dallas. I mean,
Yeah.
the prospects of
Well,
having a good season are almost nil.
Not Dallas, but shots
No, they'll
fired,
be
James,
good.
already.
Well, I shouldn't say they'll be good during the regular season because they weren't last year. So
We don't even know who their head coach. I even forgot who is their head coach again in Dallas.
I don't know. I don't
Anyway,
care.
Jameis Winston last year with the Browns, 2-5.
Dallas isn't even Texas's team anymore.
Jameis Winston with the Browns, 2-5 last year, 61.1% completion percentage, 2,121 yards, 13
Where was he
touchdowns
with? Who was he with?
with the Browns. So Tommy DeVito, 0-2, by the way, if you wanted to know. No touchdowns, no interceptions. I think they're making a massive, we'll call it a poop pile, just for our audience out there. But you guys can figure out that, because
that's great.
I mean, realistically, what is going to happen now with the offense? And if you draft Shedeur Sanders, who is speculated to be the one that would be going there, and you've got Mr. Primetime himself, who likes to speak to the media as it is, your son's the third option in New York behind Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. I see this becoming a massive issue. Brian Daboll is getting fired midway through the year next year. I can almost guarantee it.
He's in a no-win situation, and I wouldn't even be surprised if Mr. Sanders requests a trade when he's drafted.
You think it goes like the other way? You remember when Eli got drafted by the chart and wanted to go? Maybe. Right? That would be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can Russell Wilson at least make the job with the 3 wins? Over or under with Russell Wilson as their starting quarterback?
Yeah, he'll have over 3.
See, I'm saying 4 to 5, right? Maybe 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
I don't see many more than that.
No.
I don't see.
He doesn't have weapons there.
Brian Daboll fired.
Nothing.
Do you agree with me on that? Fans out there that are watching live, do you agree, Brian Daboll?
He may. But what other options do the Giants have? They certainly didn't give him a squad to win with. He didn't have anything.
I don't know. These
So
moves
I'm
are
not
odd.
sure that they'll fire him because, hey, if he gets to 4 or 5 wins, that's a success with this team.
Think about where they were at, a year ago. Saquon Barkley, right? Resign. Like now, if you looked at it, it would have been like, hey, they built a pretty good team. I'm drawing a blank on their wide receiver now. The kid's pretty good, the rookie.
Idiots. Yeah, the young kid. Yeah, I can't think of his name either.
Drawing a blank, but
Not bad.
So then I was like, look, you got some offensive weapons. Maybe you got Russ. Maybe like now it's a little better, right? Draft an offensive lineman.
But you take out the running back option, it's not a good team. It's not a good offense because a young kid he's not going to be able to lift that offense off the mat. He's not that kind of a receiver. I mean, he's a good receiver. He's still got a lot to learn, but he's not going to lift this team off the mat.
Yeah.
Because it's just not doable. Because he's going to gain double coverage all the time. Because there's no other threat.
Sierra's back in New York. I mean, maybe this helps. Maybe she's coming back. There's the music side of the biz and the fam. And they're like, oh, let's get to New York because it's a better option. Because I think he met with the Cleveland Browns. Like Russ in Cleveland. I guess Sierra's not going to want to go to Cleveland. She's in New York now. She's in the Big Apple. The lights, producers. shows. Go to Cleveland. What do you got? Snow.
Massage therapist.
Oy. Right. Yeah. Maybe that's why he didn't go. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to work with Deshaun just in case.
It could be. That might have been the reason.
That might have been the reason that Russell Wilson didn't sign with the Cleveland Browns. You know the funny thing, how does the guy get hurt more? The guy was getting massages all the time. And he re-injures himself, Deshaun Watson. How does that happen?
Maybe it's a groin injury.
No. He redid his Achilles. He tore it again. All right, Ron. We'll see how this turns out.
We know how it's going to turn out.
Let's look at the next big story here in the New England Patriots, who have signed wide receiver Stephon Diggs to a 3-year contract. I think only one of them is really guaranteed. But is this a big deal for the New England Patriots?
I think it is, because it shows at least they're making an effort, right? I think it was a good team deal, right? You're hoping that this guy starts to straighten up his act, and why not, right? He's got super talent. It's not like a Brown situation where he is just uncontrollable. And
Antonio Brown, he played one game. He was pretty good for us, though, that one game.
I'm just saying, it's not like that. Yes, this guy is a diva, and there is some team baggage there. But as far as out of the game kind of problems, I don't see that. I haven't seen those problems, right?
No, I think with Stephon Diggs, the biggest issue was that he gets very possessive. Like, he wants the ball, he demands the ball. Could kind of,
and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, it depends on the situation, right? So
you can't rub your quarterback the wrong way, but
I also think that it benefits from the standpoint of it really gives Drake May at least a legitimate wide receiver now.
You don't have these other guys being the number one target when they're going to demand the special attention of the better cornerbacks, right? So they're going to have a little better time getting open now because they don't have to be that top guy.
Well, I looked at it this way. And you already covered one of them. 3 things that were big about this deal for the Patriots. So a lot of fans are going to be like, oh, we're being homers. But I will say this. This was a market that they have predominantly never gone into since Randy Moss. And even then it was like they got right. So wide receiver was always that, we could just figure somebody out that possibly was good back in the day and we'll make them good. And it wasn't working. But secondly, Ron, think about this. Javon Baker and Jalen Polk now have a legitimate all-star, all-pro wide receiver in that room that's going to help teach these young kids in their second year how to be professional wide receivers. They were not getting that before. Kendrick Bourne, very nice player, but he is not a superstar where Diggs was.
Nope. Yeah.
I also feel like, honestly, it gives them flexibility in the draft now where they're not going to have to sit back and say, we need to draft Travis Hunter because we need a wide receiver. If you draft Travis Hunter and say, hey, look, cornerback, spot fill on wide receiver now, that's a better option than saying he's going to be your number 1 wide receiver. So it gives them more flexibility there. So they're not locked into saying we have to get a wide receiver. They could get the best offensive lineman, the best defensive lineman, whatever it may be.
Yeah, you can get an offensive lineman there and really make a difference for Drake May.
Right? Because he's got to have time.
This is what we say all the time, Eric. Why do they feel the need to have to go get that sexy pick, right? There's the big guy that everybody's talking about, receiver, quarterback, whatever it may be, right? Why not take care of the trenches That's where it's won. And I know most people, oh, well, I don't know who the hell he is. Well, guess what? He might be pretty damn good. Better than a Strange pick.
Yeah, Cole Strange. Yeah, exactly. And I think that was right. We talked about that at length when it happened. But I think for the Patriots to say, look, if we're going to turn a page from everything we've done in the past, we didn't see it with Mayo because he was kind of picking the same players or had the same
He was
mentality.
a yes man. So that's not, I don't even blame Mayo, to be honest with you.
No, I think he was in a bad situation. Yeah, absolutely. But this move here shows that, look, we're going to take a stab at a guy that normally in New England we wouldn't even do. And I think that's a big deal. We've got to see how this injury, the ACL injury is. I don't think he starts week 1. But again, if he's able to go week 5 and really contribute at that point, but what can he teach these kids is going to be vital and important.
Yeah.
And how he can become a team player and understand that he's got to build a quarterback now that hasn't played a full NFL season.
This could really change the direction of Stefon Diggs' career. It could be a defining moment for him, especially if he plays so well and then these kids respond underneath him, and it will certainly be a spotlight he would be able to be proud of. You know, if this receiving core does anything and it's because of Stefon Diggs, that's huge. That's huge. Because right now he's got the reputation of not being a team guy.
Yeah, he's a guy that most teams, and think about it with Houston, and again, young quarterback, you know, and the success he had, but you would think that they want to keep a player like this, and they were hesitant to re-sign him for
his last opportunity
for a reason. There had to be a reason because their number 1 wide receiver blew out his knee last year, so he's not even going to be back there. So you would think you'd want to keep Diggs, and that didn't happen. So yes, reputation-wise, I think you're 100% spot on, Ron. This gives him an opportunity to try to say, hey, look, you know, I know I'm towards the back end of my career. I can make an impact with a team that obviously wants to get back to some kind of respectability, which they've lacked for the last, obviously, few years. So 8 games last season, Ron, 47 receptions, 496 yards, and 3 touchdowns, 10.6 yards per reception. 144 games in his career, 857 receptions, 10,491 yards, 12.2 yards per reception, 70 touchdowns. 4-time Pro Bowler, a 4-time Pro Bowler, 1-time All-Pro, and you look at and you think about this, 6 straight seasons where he had over 1,000 yards before the injury. So they're getting a guy that knows how to get open. They're getting a guy that can make an impact on the offensive side of the ball and make some of these other kids, to your point, better. Hunter Henry is not a number 1. That was your best receiver last year.
You gotta realize that, you know, you have a young quarterback, but he can throw the ball. And there were some brilliant moments last season with him. You know, and that is without an offensive line. If they can get him 1 or 2 guys to really solidify that line, and even making them average for the line would be an improvement. So I feel like he's going to be able to get Diggs the ball. You know, I think their offense is going to improve because it was anemic.
Yeah,
last year.
Yeah, it was scary, the fact that they could do anything offensively. And don't forget Josh McDaniels, who's always been a really good offensive coordinator. And
I like the hiring.
He's never had talent like this other than Randy Moss. And look what they did with Randy Moss.
Well, this is what they did. Okay, you get Vrabel. What does Vrabel do? He's defense, right? So you give him the weapons on defense. Now they go and they get. Didn't they sign an offensive lineman?
They signed a couple, yes.
Right. So you get a couple of linemen. You get Diggs in there, and now you have Josh McDaniel, who knows how to run an offense.
And think about this in real quick. Ramondre Stevenson was their best player. And he had a difficult year, but it's because every team was basically lining up and to stop him. Right? So now you give him an opportunity to maybe get back on track to where they need him to be. So This is going to help several of these players. Obviously, the young wide receivers, the quarterback, but Ramondre Stevenson as well, because I think he was getting beat up because there was nobody else that anybody would focus on.
He's definitely a better running back than he showed last year.
100%.
But when you don't have a line to run behind, you're not doing anything.
Facts, my friend, facts. And that's
right.
where we bring you here on Sports Unfolded. If you are joining us live, please join the chat and let us know what you think. Stephon Diggs, big signing for the Patriots. Our Sports Unfolded Sports Poll page, we had a poll and 50 votes, Ron. 94% said yes. They believe this is a big deal for the New England Patriots. Only 3 votes that said no. So the fans out there in New England definitely are excited about Stephon Diggs, and NFL fans are excited about Stephon Diggs.
They could, gotta see what they bring to the table.
Yeah, draft's going to be key. What they get in the draft will be important because they could become the second best team in the AFC East. I know it sounds crazy. Miami's a mess right now. The Jets, every year you don't know what's going to happen with the New York Jets. They may possibly be the second best team in the AFC East now. Again, just with that move. But, all right, Ron, let's have some fun. We're going to move on. A great NFL talk, but it is time for starting 5. Our starting 5 this week. Bruins all-time goaltenders, Ron. We're going to rank them from 5 to 1.
Are you trying to jinx their playoff run?
I'm so trying to jinx it. So I will ask you this, my friend. You are first. You are going to start us off with your starting 5. Obviously, we need to know your honorable mentions, and then I will give you mine. I have 2.
Okay, so I went with 5.
Here we go. 10. If you go 10 to thing again, I'm going to kill you.
Number 10.
Come on.
Welcome back, Eric. That's right. Number 10, I have Gilles Gilbert.
Gilles Gilbert. Was he in Beauty and the Beast?
No.
No. Okay. With Gaston and no. Okay. Lemur. Okay.
No. But he was look. He was part of a great tandem with Cheevers, so he had great number: 155 wins, 73 losses. It's pretty good. Number 4, it's kind of like an honorary thing because the team that was in front of him really stunk. Terry Sawchuk played 2 years with the Bruins.
The toilet paper. Oh. And Beauty and the Beast, yes. It was like they got the candlestick, and what was the guy? What was his name?
I don't know.
The goalie. Who was the goaltender?
Gilles Gilbert.
Gilles Gilbert. It was. He's saying that the toilet paper holder in Beauty and the Beast. Okay.
It's not very nice.
That wasn't.
It's not very nice.
No, not at all. Good one, Bryce. Good one. You're going to get one of these.
Yeah, so number 9 was Terry Sawchuk.
Very good. Very good, Bryce. Terry
Sawchuk, number 9.
Okay.
Number 8, Jeremy Swayman.
Okay.
I mean, he's got good numbers. Look, I'm not worried about him this year. Nobody played well in front of him. So,
okay.
The team's a mess.
All right. We're going to get to sometime the starting 5 today. But all right, go ahead.
Number 7.
Number 7.
Byron Dafoe.
Byron Dafoe. Was he related to William?
Maybe.
The Green Goblin?
Willem. Not William. Will.
Oh, excuse us, sir.
If you're gonna make a goblin joke, you might as well get his name right.
I'm gonna give you a goblin.
There's a joke there, but I can't say it.
Yeah, let's not.
We know you're goblin. My number one honorable mention is Linus Olmark.
This guy makes 2 starting 5s every time. It's like the starting. No, I'm going to start. We're going to change it to starting 10 for you. Starting 10 next time. All right. On my honorable mentions, I had Andy Moog, 36 playoff wins. I thought that was pretty impressive. And then Eddie Johnston, 2 Stanley Cup wins, even though he had a losing record as a goaltender. I put him in because of the 2 cups as an honorable mention. But those are my 2 honorable mentions. So let's get into the starting 5, Ron. Starting 5. At number 5, who do you have?
At number 5, I have Tuukka Rask, the all-time wins leader. This was really difficult.
Wow,
he didn't win a championship though.
We saw this different. Okay,
so
okay, I'll give you that.
I kind of didn't like that. Okay. But I put him there. He's got 308 wins, 165 losses. So he holds the record for the Bruins for wins. And it's too bad because his numbers are fantastic. 921 save percentage, 2.28 goals against average, 2-time All-Star, a Vezina, and a Jennings trophy. He deserved better fate, to be honest with you.
All right. So at 5 for me, I had Tim Thomas. 5th all-time in wins, 196 wins, a 921 save percentage. Again, extremely great goaltender when it comes to that, and it's tied with Tuukka Rask. And he won a cup. So I went Tim Thomas at number 5.
Yeah, I have Tim Thomas at number 4, Eric. For those reasons as well, that 921 save percentage and 2.48, 196 wins, 121 losses. He's a Stanley Cup winner, which was really tipping the scales ahead of Tuukka Rask. Probably one of the best goaltending performances I've ever seen in the playoffs. He was just perfect. 2-time All-Star, 2-time Vezina, 1-time Jennings, and a Conn Smythe to go along with that cup. I had to put him at number 4 ahead of Tuukka.
Okay. At 4 for me, Tiny Thompson, 2nd all-time in Bruins wins with 252. He did win a cup. That goals against, a 1.99 goals against. Ridiculous. So, and it sounds crazy that he's at 4 for me, but I like.
Yes, it is.
It is. But I have him at number 4. Tiny Thompson.
At number 3, I have this guy right here, Jerry Cheevers. He's the one with the stitches. Every time he gets hit in the mask, he put another stitch on it. And
if you like it, you put a stitch on it.
Fantastic.
That was a little Beyonce reference there.
Yeah.
I'm on it today, buddy. I'm on it. I'm back, baby. I'm back.
You're on it. I don't know what it is, but you're on something.
Yeah, you don't want to know, buddy.
Jerry Cheevers had 226 wins, 103 losses, and 76 ties. Holy crap, that's a lot of ties. 2.89 goals against average, 901 save percentage, and in that era, that's fantastic because that was some hard games that you had to play. 26 shutouts, 2 Stanley Cups with Bobby and the gang.
Bobby.
And a Hall of Famer.
All right.
To go along with that.
Very nice.
So
good one.
I put him at number 3.
I like it. At 3 for me, I had Frank Brimsek. Did I say that correctly?
Yep.
Third all-times in wins, 230 wins for his career. 4th all-time in playoff wins with 32 and 2 cups. So that put him at 3 for me.
Yeah, well, he went number 2 for me. 444 games played in his career, 230 wins, 144 losses, 70 ties, 2.57 goals against average. Back then, they did not track save percentage.
Yeah.
But the man had 35 shutouts, 2 Stanley Cups, 8 All-Stars, 2 Vezinas, Hall of Famer, and a Calder trophy that nobody else won as a Bruin goaltender.
That's a very good stat, man. Nice job. At 2 for me, I had Jerry Cheevers, 4th all-time in wins with 226. Second all-time in playoff wins. 53 wins is pretty impressive for a postseason, and 2 Stanley Cups. So I went Jerry Cheevers at number 2 for myself. So who do you have number 1?
Number 1, I went with Tiny Thompson. I mean, this guy was just unbelievable. I mean, you talk about a goals against average, 1.99.
Crazy.
No one was
Absolutely
around
crazy.
that area. Nobody.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that was phenomenal. I mean, who was the lowest? 2.28, Linus Olmark.
Yeah.
That was the closest. The closest, 1.99. 74 shutouts. 74 shutouts. He wasn't, his save percentage had to be like 950. I mean, this guy was always shutting people out.
Yeah.
And 4 All-Stars, 4 Vezina trophies, a Stanley Cup, a Hall of Famer. Now, he won the Stanley Cup in 1928-29. You want to know what his playoff goals against was for that year?
Under
0.60.
That's insane. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty damn impressive.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty damn impressive.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Wow. So I went a different direction with my number 1.
I knew you were going to go with that.
Tuukka Rask, who has the most wins all time in Bruins history with 308.
And deservedly so. Look, Eric, 1 through 5, we have all the same characters, right?
Yeah.
And it's acceptable if somebody picked any one of those players because they're all great.
Yeah. Yeah. No, listen, most playoff wins, 57. Yep. So even though he didn't get there, 57, he won the most playoff games.
He deserved to win 1 year.
4th all time in goals against, 2.28 is, you already said. 2nd all time in save percentage at 921. So I went Tuukka Rask at number 1, but I agree with you. Like, it could have went so many different ways. At 1.99, and then I didn't even know about the postseason. I didn't look at that one. A 0.06, like that's insane.
No, he gave up 3 goals in the entire postseason.
Yeah, like that's insane. That is crazy. That's crazy.
Sick.
But that was fun. Sick. That was a good one. That was a good one, my friend.
It had some great goaltenders.
Yeah,
let me tell you.
They did. They have.
And you know, there was some that were like Pete Peters only played a couple of seasons in Boston. You know, there was a bunch of them. My favorite was really Reggie Lemelin, and he wasn't even close with the numbers. But I liked him. He was an old-timer, and he was Andy Moog's backup, basically. And he was just so steady and really helped Andy Moog become a great goaltender. So
awesome. All right, Ryan, let's move on and talk some NBA. So Steph Curry scheduled to come back tonight. Is it the right move for the Golden State Warriors to put him back out there so soon after the hip injury?
Yeah, absolutely. You know why? Because they're in a play-in position right now. They need to get back to it. They need to get some wins, and I think they needed to. I do.
Yeah. See, I disagree because they need him more in the postseason. We already know now. They'll make it. They're in the 7th spot. They're not dropping to 11. There's a 12 games left. I'm not saying he shouldn't play at some point, but I would have rested him a little more because even before the injury, Ron, Steve Kerr gets on and says that Steph Curry's tired and he needs to rest him. Well, here's the best possible scenario that could have happened is that you could have said, hey, we're going to take our time and give him some rest. Because
you got to get this. You got to get some wins. You want to get out of that play-in because there's some good teams in that play-in.
I still think
and that's not a guarantee you make it.
with Jimmy Butler, they've shown it the ability to play better basketball and to win games. Give Steph some time because they're going to regret this if he comes back and he's not fully healthy. And then in the postseason, now that hip's bothering him. And guess what? Now they're out. Even though they're the 6th seed, I don't care. They're out. They need to look at it that way. They need him fully healthy for the postseason.
They're already in the playoffs right now. They're in a playoff battle to try to get there. And I think it's all hands on deck. You want to rest, wait till summer.
And then we wanted to also bring up, I know we don't have a graphic for it, but the Memphis Grizzlies firing their head coach, winningest head coach in Memphis Grizzlies history.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on that, Ron? It's a really odd time.
Yeah, I find it very bizarre that they did this, to be honest with you. They're what, in 5th right now, if I'm not mistaken?
Yep, the 5th seed.
They're only like a game behind LA for 4th.
Yep. Taylor Jenkins is the head coach. They are the 5th seed. Struggled as of late. But again, John Morant hasn't played 6 games in a row. That might have some factor too, like injuries. The all-time winningest coach. And then you're going into the postseason. It's not like the postseason's like 2 months away and you're like 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
From the postseason. And this is a move you're making right now. Like it blows my mind. Like you don't see this very often at this point, because it's a different voice in the locker room at a point when you need consistency. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in Memphis, because realistically, this probably derailed their entire season for the postseason now. Like,
it'll give them a boost at the end of the season, but it'll really take away from the postseason, because that's when, because you'll go on a firing roll, right? Most teams do. The Bruins did, and look at them now. So I think it'll help. They'll be in a playoff spot, but where it's going to matter is the postseason.
Yeah.
And you're going to have an interim head coach, which makes
crazy.
no sense.
Unreal. 5th seed. Around 5th. Like if you were like 10, I'd be like, I get it.
Remember the St. Louis Cardinals did this? Firing their manager?
Yeah. Yeah. That's insane.
Big mistake.
All right. Speaking of Major League Baseball, Ron, let's have a little fun now. Opening day yesterday. We talked about it a little bit earlier at the beginning of the show. Which opening day record was a bigger deal? Tyler O'Neill hitting his 6th straight home run on opening day, or the San Francisco Giants starting 19 straight opening day games with a different left fielder?
That's not impressive to me, because that's a bad thing. That's just a team.
See, I think that's the most impressive thing. How is that even possible?
No, I love Tyler O'Neill hitting a home run in opening day. That's
6 straight.
Impressible.
Right, 6 straight. It is.
That's a new word, impressible.
Hey, only here on Sports Unfolded do we not speak English.
Impossible and impressive.
All together. We're mashing it all. Let's do it.
But that's unbelievable, right? You got a guy that can do that 6 years in a row.
You just said the key word there, though. Unbelievable. How is it in 19 straight years you haven't been able to find one guy to play 2 years in a row? One time in 19 years, Ron.
Yeah.
That's impossible.
It's terrible. That's terrible. That's not one you want.
See, but that's what I mean. Like, I think it's such a bigger deal, because first of all, who keeps these stats that they knew, right? But then it was like,
they keep stats of everything.
19 years. The last time it's happened, Ron, one of the teams, this is now the longest streak since 1900. 1900, no numbers other than 00, by the St. Louis Browns / Baltimore Orioles. St. Louis Browns, Ron. Like, this is where they've got an expired football team and another expired football team that was a baseball team that is no longer around. It's the last time this has happened. You cannot tell me that's impressive, because that's crazy. That should never happen. 19 straight years.
It should never
19.
happen.
19.
That's indicative of a team that doesn't have.
But they win.
it right.
It's not like the Giants stink. But I mean, I was like, what? 19 straight years, man.
It's bizarre.
It's like Twilight Zone type of material there, Ron. Like that is.
Wasn't Bonds a left fielder?
No, he was right. Pretty sure he was right field.
Huh.
Or is it since Bonds? When did Bonds retire? He didn't retire 19 years ago. Yeah, no. So he would have to be a right fielder.
Wait, no, has he?
Nah, he hasn't been 19 years.
2006.
Maybe. Let me check.
That's 2006. It's
I'm
Barry
checking it.
Bonds last time. He's a left fielder.
All right, let me check. Hold on. Calm down.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Let's go.
Oh, easy, buddy. I mean, left field. So since Barry Bonds, holy cow, hold on. 2007 was his last season.
There you go.
Yeah.
See?
Look at that. Since Barry Bonds, they have not been able to find a left fielder. All you got, juice him up. The guy who started this year, bang, he's in. He's in next year. Break the streak. You got to break the streak now. Tyler O'Neill, 6 home runs. Big deal. All right. Get to 7, then we'll talk. That is pretty impressive, though, too. You're right.
If he hits one next year.
Like 7. That's crazy. Yeah.
7 years in a row.
Todd Hundley, though, 94 to 97. So 4 years straight. He did it. Gary Carter as well, who's in the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. And Yogi Berra. They all hit 4. He's already surpassed them and now hit 6. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's just piling on his own record.
He even did it in Boston, right?
Yeah, last year.
Yeah,
He hit home run opening day.
Kind of crazy, man. Look at that. That's crazy. It's crazy talk.
He had a great year.
I still think it's the Giants.
I don't know, but
Yeah, and I still think it's the Giants. So now that you brought the Bonds thing into this, I think it's even more impressive that in 19 years, they haven't been able to find somebody to replace Barry Bonds consistently in left field.
Because they're being watched and they can't juice their players anymore.
Stop it. You are off your rocker, my friend. All right, let's go into some split decisions, Ron.
Oh, you're going to love these today.
Mine are going to seem the same but different. So wait, go ahead. Oh, go ahead, Ron. You are first this week.
All right. Let me see. What would I want to start with? Let's do this one.
Let's do it.
With the possibility
Possibility.
of Golden State and Minnesota climbing up in the standings.
Going up. Okay.
Who would more likely slip to a play-in spot?
Okay. I get where you're going.
LA Clippers, Memphis Grizzlies, or the LA Lakers?
I think this is an easy one because we just talked about it. Grizzlies firing their coach. I don't think this is going to be a good move for the team. I could see them slip very easily. Very easily.
They're only like 1.5 out of it.
So I could see the Grizzlies definitely slipping out of it.
Okay.
But good question. All right, Ron. So let me give you this one then. Which team is more likely to get the final wild card spot in the Eastern Conference in the NHL? The Montreal Canadiens, who have 75 points and are in currently. Canadiens in, Bruins not. That's crazy to think about. But anyway, Montreal Canadiens, 75 points. The New York Islanders, who have 74 points, or the New York Rangers, who have 74 points. Who is more likely to get the final wild card spot in the Eastern Conference?
I'm going to go the Rangers. I think just overall, they just have more talent. And
it's not a lot of time,
like
right?
Chances.
Not a lot of time left. It's right, less than double-digit games left.
Yeah.
So you think they could leapfrog?
I think they can.
Okay. All right.
1
Rangers.
point.
Okay. I know.
They
I
go
get
on
it.
a 3-game winning streak.
Yeah, and the other 2 lose a game. Yeah, I got you. Okay. All right. Your second split decision.
Okay. If the playoffs started today,
Started today.
what would more likely be the best series to watch?
Okay.
LA versus Edmonton Oilers? Dallas versus Colorado? Or Florida versus Tampa Bay?
Ooh. I say I'm not. Tampa Bay's good, but then I think that Dallas, Colorado, because of the trades, and what happened at the trade deadline, and they both went all in and both got some quality, top notch players.
Dallas got one of Colorado's former players.
Right. So I think that would be the most intriguing first round matchup because that
three great matchups, though.
Yeah, Oof. They are. They are very. All three of them would be right. But that Florida connection thing
You're
would be interesting.
Right. I agree with you.
But Dallas, Colorado.
So, I agree with you.
All right.
That Dallas, Colorado series is going to be insane.
So here we go. Same but different. Ron, which team is more likely to get in to the final play-in spot in the Western Conference in the NBA playoffs? The Dallas Mavericks, who hold the 9th spot, the Sacramento Kings, who hold the 10th spot, or the Phoenix Suns, who hold the 11th spot, all within one game. They are all basically one game.
I know this is going to sound crazy.
If you say the Suns, man, we might have to shut the show down. People might just stop watching.
No, I'm going Dallas Mavericks because guess who just came back?
Anthony Davis came back.
And you know he wants to get in there so bad.
No Kyrie.
Anthony Davis can dominate if he wants to play.
Agreed. But then losing Kyrie is a big piece that you're not getting.
Yes, I know. Just give AD the ball.
All right.
And look out.
Okay. So you think Dallas. Wow. I thought you were going to go a different direction there. Okay. So right now, Dallas and Kings are in. The Mavs and Kings are in. Suns a game out. That's crazy to even think about. As bad as their season's been and the talent they have on that team, that they may still have a shot to make the playoffs, which is bizarre to me too. And everybody complains about the NHL and every team gets in. How the hell are the Suns getting in if that happens?
It's because every team but like 3 don't make it.
Yeah, it's sad. They need to really change that as well. But all right, Ron, let's talk some NHL. Philadelphia Flyers. We're talking about late firings a lot today, but fired their head coach, John Tortorella. Do you think he'll have a coach again? So it's not about him.
That's a good question because
67
there's no
years
way
old.
He's not going to go to a team that has a lot of young players. Let's put that out there.
Okay.
That's not what he does. John Tortorella goes into a veteran team to shake it up. And
like Taylor Swift? No, that's shake it off.
Yeah, shake it off. Right. It's like the Cars, shake it up.
Hey, shake it up. Oh yeah, look at
so it could be. It could be his last time. He might enjoy doing,
but you think 20
in between periods.
23 seasons. So he's coached a lot. You see these coaches. Look at Bill Belichick back in the, coaching ranks in college, so the age thing, I was like, maybe, but then you think about Belichick, but 97 and 107 with the Flyers, no playoff games, right? So
he could end up in Pittsburgh.
But he did win a cup with Tampa Bay. Yeah, Pittsburgh, right? Some older talent that, could possibly, that's a great call there, by the way, by you. 770 wins, 648 losses, 37 ties, a 538 win percentage. So the man can win. Not so good in the postseason. His winning percentage not as high. But I would ask you this, Ron. Do you know, Ron, he has coached for 5 NHL teams. Can you name all 5?
Well, obviously Philadelphia.
Bang, check one. 3 years.
Columbus,
6 years in Columbus.
Let me see. I'm pretty sure one of them was, I want to say it was the Rangers.
6 years with the Rangers.
Let me see. Somewhere in the middle of the country. I don't think it was Detroit. I don't think it was St. Louis. Let me see. Could have been New York Islanders, was it?
It was not. So the 2 teams you missed. So you said Columbus, New York Rangers, and the Flyers. Those 3 were correct. He won his Stanley Cup with the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Oh my God, I forgot about Tampa Bay.
7 years. That was his longest stint as a head coach.
Yep.
And 1 year with the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah.
He coached the Vancouver Canucks. So those were the 5 teams that John Tortorella actually coached. Not the nicest guy, is from what most reports are. You've seen some of his post-game interviews.
He's Bill Belichick of hockey.
Yeah, he's pretty. He is, and he's a little. He gets at you. He could get at you.
Oh yeah, he's more in your face.
Tortorella, it's got to be Italian. I would say he's got Italian. Maybe that little bit of an Italian, type of.
Yeah, maybe he looks like Fonzie though.
He does. Although, yeah, he does have a little Henry Winkler. I don't know. I could be misinterpreted.
But look, there's talks that Pittsburgh is going to let
that's
Mike Sullivan go.
That's breaking news. That's inside stuff that people need to understand. Sports Unfolded. We think outside the box a little bit, and I'm telling you, that's a big one because that would make a lot of sense.
If that happens, he will be the next Bruin coach.
Who?
Mike Sullivan.
Okay. So taking him from Pittsburgh.
Yep. If he gets fired over there,
you don't think
Bruins are signing him?
They're going to keep what's his name? John what? Who's the Bruins coach right now?
Joe Sacco.
Joe Sacco. I know that was Jay. I know where I got that. Okay. No Sacco. All right, Ron. Let's get into our pick and roll.
It's time for pick and roll.
So we are on lucky number 13, episode 13 of season 5, Open Arms. And so we decided to go back 13 years to the top 6 NFL wide receptions leaders. And they were Calvin Johnson, Brandon Marshall, Wes Welker, Andre Johnson, Jason Witten, and Reggie Wayne. And we're going to rank them from 6 to 1, Ron. You are first this week. I cannot wait because I really feel like we're going to have a different opinion on this one, I think. So let's see how you did, and then I will give you my list. Your pick and roll.
Very difficult.
Your pick and roll, Ron.
Let me tell you, this was difficult because I struggled with that 1 and 2. These are some great receivers right here. When you would be like, oh, I definitely would take Wes Welker, and he's number 6. I mean, when you look at these players and those games played tricks with my mind on this.
I agree 100% on that one.
So this is very tricky because you give a little for one and then you don't for the other. And it's like, because a lot of this was the eyeball test. So number 6, Wes Welker, 903 receptions, 9,924 yards. The only one that was under 11,000. That yards per reception was big for me. And he only had 11.0. He only beat out one other guy. And I'll get into that later. 50 touchdowns, just was not nearly enough. The least by a long way. Five Pro Bowls, 2 All-Pro. Look, this guy is a great receiver. Slot receiver. He's the one that defined it in my book.
Trey Brown.
At least
him.
in New England, right?
Trey Brown, then him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Trey,
I don't know.
Look at Trey's numbers.
I know. Troy had a little more to that game than the slot receiver.
But
a little more. Number 5, and I cannot believe I'm putting him here. Andre Johnson. 193 games played. He played the most out of, third most, really, but I didn't give him the inch, like I did another player. Okay. And this is the guy that it cost.
Boy, I wanted to say
14,185 yards, the second most on this list, 1,062 receptions, 70 touchdowns, 13.4 yards per reception, 7 Pro Bowls, 2 All-Pro. I don't know what it was with Andre Johnson. To me, it just wasn't there for me.
Okay.
And I don't know what it is. The numbers are there. Just wasn't good enough. You played a hell of a lot more games than some certain guy, and you didn't even come close to his mark. Number 4, I went Brandon Marshall. 179 games played. So he played less than Andre Johnson, but those numbers are comparable. 12,351 yards, like 1,400 less. 83 touchdowns, though, so he made the most of that time. Tied for the most touchdowns out of this list. 5 Pro Bowls, 2 All-Pro. 6 Pro Bowls, 1 All-Pro. And I don't know, I just thought he offered a little more than Andre Johnson. Just never had the guy throwing it to him, I guess. I'm not,
Yeah, he bounced around a lot.
Yeah, and he always put up steady numbers.
Yeah.
So I liked him a little more than Andre Johnson. But I have Jason Witten number 3, and because he's a tight end, it kind of altered a lot of things for this list to me. 271 games. He had 13,046 yards as a tight end, 1,228 receptions, 74 touchdowns, 11 Pro Bowls, 2 All-Pro. Those Pro Bowls really are glaring, but a tight end is a little different. I think they're a little more responsible for other things, and I like Witten's toughness. I like his toughness, and that weighed heavily in this. But then there were the other 2 guys that I thought were just so much better, and I didn't think it was going to go this way, but I put Reggie Wayne at number 2. 211 games played, so he was up there in games played. 1,070 receptions, 14,345 yards, the most on the list. 13.4 yards per reception, 82 touchdowns, missed it by 1.
Missed it by that much.
6 Pro Bowls, 1 All-Pro. But the thing that vaulted this guy ahead of all the other guys is because he won the Super Bowl.
Only one to win.
The only one to do it. So he went up. I actually had him number 1 at some point. And I looked at the numbers and I'm like, I can't put him at number 1. Because number 1 is Calvin Johnson. His numbers, he's played like half the amount of games as these other guys. Still had 11,601 yards, by far the most yards per reception, 15.9. So he made something out of nothing a lot. The man had 83 touchdowns in that time.
Mm-hmm.
No one put those numbers up except for Brandon Marshall, but it took Brandon Marshall 44 more games.
Mm-hmm.
For Reggie Wayne to get 82, one less. It took him like 80 more games to get one less.
Mm-hmm.
This guy should have stood in the NFL, should have just went to another team, because this guy was absolutely amazing.
Well, it's
I
on
think
record.
top 3 receivers of all time.
It's on record, right? We've already said it. We had the worst franchises in NFL in the history of sports. They basically got rid of the 2 greatest players at their position way before their prime was over. Calvin Johnson being one of them, and obviously Barry Sanders. But
he had a chance to break records.
Oh,
he had a chance to break Jerry Rice's record.
Yeah, he would have destroyed him. There's no doubt in my mind. So I had Wes Welker at 6. I agreed with you there. Only guy not to get 10,000 yards receiving. Again, 50 touchdowns, far less than anybody else on this list. So I went that route there. This is where we got a little different. I went Jason Witten at 5.
Yeah.
And I went Jason Witten at 5 because
I put that toughness into effect.
I agree. But again, he played 60 more games than the next closest guy. So again, I would expect him to put up more numbers in 60 more games, which he did. But again, and 11 Pro Bowls, but I took some of that to granted because there's not that many great tight ends. They're far in between. So he was the best of the worst.
Gonzalez, Gates.
Again, AFC versus NFC.
Yeah, I know.
So again, at 4, I had Brandon Marshall. I had Brandon Marshall there because less receptions than Andre Johnson, even though less games. But then I really liked one more.
So you just basically flip-flopped Andre Johnson
and Brandon Marshall and Jason Witten. And Jason Witten, I did not have 3rd. Reggie Wayne, I agree with you.
So you flipped Andre Johnson and Jason Witten. That's what you did.
Yes. And then I will say Reggie Wayne, I agree with you. The one championship definitely put him at 2 for me because the only guy to win a championship and his numbers were really good. But again, if you add another 60 to 70 games to Calvin Johnson, just that alone,
it's not close.
It wouldn't even be close. Like he'd probably have 1,500 receptions and 25,000 yards.
Like who?
83 touchdowns in 135 games.
A better receiver than him in history?
Nobody. And I'm going to say it. I think he was better than Jerry Rice if he had played as many games as Jerry Rice played. And people could sit back and argue with me all day and every day, but look at those numbers. Those numbers are telling. What Jerry Rice finished, hold on. How many? Let's just say, let's have some fun, Ron, before we get into something else, because we still got a little bit of time tonight. We're like moving right along tonight. Moving right along tonight. Jerry Rice played in 303 games. It's almost 3 times. Times 3 to Calvin Johnson.
So if you cut it in half, just say cut it in half for
even just double his, so he's at 270. Double all his numbers. Jerry Rice finished with 1,549 receptions, 22,000 yards.
Yeah, you're talking comparable. It's about the same.
197 touchdowns. That might be the only part that
Jerry would have maybe 30 more if you double it.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's pretty damn close, man.
It is.
And again, and you think about the San Francisco 49ers and what they had for talent to what this guy was stuck with. And everybody was keying him, and he still got these numbers.
Yeah. And that's why I say, you compare to history. I put him in the top 3 receivers of all time, but I can't think of the guy number 2 that I would put ahead of him. Maybe Randy Moss. I'm not even sure.
I think he's better than Moss. Honestly, I think
Probably.
Calvin Johnson would
You
be
know,
better than Moss. I
that's
know it's controversial, but
yeah.
I think
But
you
I
gotta
would
take
say
the
those
100.
three probably are the best three of all
Yeah.
time.
You got to take that 135 games and look at that aspect of it because
Yeah.
his numbers are lower than those guys because he played again
Right.
almost
And that's what I was looking at. I'm like, how?
it's almost
How is
200
this
less
guy this
games,
good? And he walks
right?
away. It's
200 less games.
frustrating.
Almost 200 less games than Jerry Rice, and he still was putting up crazy numbers. All right, Ron.
Yeah.
It is prediction time. Hopefully, everybody's still out there live, so we get some people to pick here. Not a good week for me last week, and you and James. Great job picking the NASCAR winner, Kyle Larson, last week. So you got a double point. You got a double win for that. I'm clinging to my first place right now. 2-6 last week. You went 6-3. James 5-4. But we want to get
Remember
some
when you
people.
had a 9-game lead on me?
Yeah. That's all right, though. So it's not how you start. It's how you finish, man. We still got a long ways to go.
Long ways to go.
Long ways to go. All right.
It's interesting because you have picked a top 5 driver this year.
Yes.
James has picked a top 5 driver and a winning driver.
Yeah.
And I've done the same thing.
Yeah. So we're getting this NASCAR thing down. I think we got it. I think we're figuring some things out. Even Kenny's picking people that don't even race. So. But we're doing some things. All right, Ron.
You remember that 4-letter word network when they used to give the race results and they would always say, and Dick Trickle came in 23rd. He would never win. That poor guy never wins.
Dick Trickles. You just wanted to say Dick Trickles.
I did.
I see that. All right.
Did you see all these videos with Grady Dick?
Yeah, they won't say his name now. They just call him Grady. Yeah, they don't want to say his last name.
But some of them really go above
they were
and beyond
really good.
and really say some bad things.
He really took, yeah. Dick took a hard fall. It's great. It's great. All right, Ron. Let's get into our predictions here. And we're going to start off with the NBA. April 2nd, believe it or not, we're already in April. New York Knicks at the Cleveland Cavaliers, Ron. Who do you have? You still got
Cleveland.
I was going to say you still got Dick on the brain. Oh, boy, this show's going downhill.
Better than being all in your face.
Yeah, all in your face. Listen, Cleveland, they had a rough stretch there where they weren't playing very well, but I think they figured it out. So I'm going with Cleveland as well. Kyle going with Cleveland. Anybody else out there? Let's go. New York Knicks at the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Hey, where's Hugo?
Yeah, Hugo hasn't been on in a while either. Yeah.
I haven't seen Hugo all week.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Maybe he's on vacation. North Dakota. A lot going on out there. No James either. James. Danny. Yeah, I think you pissed Danny off. Yeah, we got to be nicer to Danny. I haven't seen Kenny on here in months. I think he's given up on us. All right, let's move on. April 3rd, my birthday, by the way, so I'm excited about that. I will not be watching this game. The Golden State Warriors at the Los Angeles Lakers, because I've got far more better things to do. But I'm going to go with the Lakers, believe it or not, because they're very good at home. Very good home team. And the Golden State Warriors are only one game over 500.
That game last night?
They lost, right?
Yeah. Not only did they lose, first of all, they gave up a shot to put them within one basket, within 1 point, and LeBron was defending that guy. Then LeBron takes the ball from out of bounds and he tries to pass it in and gave it right to them. They pass it around, bury it. They take the lead. Then, of course, LeBron isn't going to take the final shot. he's not going to do that. But what's his face there? Reeves drives to the net, gets a basket. They take back the lead, and they only had like a couple of seconds left. They pass it into Giddey, and Giddey takes a half court shot in LeBron's face, buries it, wins the game. Lakers go home.
I wonder who you were rooting for.
It was great. It was great. I'm going Golden State. I am not picking LeBron. Curry's going to win this game.
All right. They always have good matchups, the two of them, though, when they do play each other.
Kyle, who you going with? Golden State? LA Lakers? Guess not. There we go.
Lakers. There we go, Kyle. All right. April 1st, Ron. You got the Edmonton Oilers at the Vegas Golden Corral. April Fools.
So if I get this wrong, can I just say April Fools?
April Fools, yes. The Vegas Golden Knights on April Fool's night.
I'm going with Vegas.
Going with Vegas. Edmonton Oilers at the Vegas Golden Knights. I agree with you. Very good at home, Vegas. And I don't think Edmonton lost some steam. I just don't think last year was their shot.
Yeah, they've been injured.
So
I wonder if they
right.
have Stuart Skinner back.
Kyle went Vegas as well.
Oh, clean sweep there.
April 2nd, Ron, the Florida Panthers at the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Rat should be back. Brad Marchand. I think he's making his debut tonight, correct?
I believe so.
I think Florida's defensively, I think what they're trying to do to make that postseason run, I'm going Florida here.
Yeah, I'm going Florida as well. Look, Florida's just going to try to bully them. And when you got a guy like Marchand that always plays well against Toronto, I don't doubt that he's going to go in there, and I think he's going to have a hell of a game in Toronto.
Kyle going Florida as well.
So a clean sweep there.
Ron, it's back, by the way. This weekend, UFL, the Birmingham Stallions at the DC Defenders. What do you have?
I'm going with my Italian Stallions.
Hey, right? We got to go with the Stallions, right?
We got to go with them.
Got to go with the Stallions. UFL back for spring football is here. I went Stallions as well. The defending champions. Not going to watch the game. At least we know that it's back.
It's on tomorrow, right?
It's the 30th, Sunday.
Sunday.
There's tomorrow's
Sunday football.
Tomorrow's got games and
I'll
Sunday.
have it on.
You're gonna watch it? All right. You let me know.
Sure.
You let me know what happens. I don't think Kyle wants to pick. Kyle's picking the Stallions too, or Stallions. Maybe he's got an accent. Maybe he's got an accent.
It's the Stallons.
Like Stallones. See, he's thinking Stallone. Stallion.
Yeah, the Italian Stallion.
Italian Stallion. Ron, you know what else is back? Major League Baseball is back. March 31st.
I still can't believe I actually watched a game.
Yeah,
I'm wondering.
And you said you were
I didn't watch today. Did they play today?
I don't think so.
I don't even know.
So 3-game series. Who wins this 3-game series? It starts March 31st. The Atlanta Braves at the Los Angeles Dodgers. I am clearly going Dodgers here because they're going 162-0. So Dodgers all day.
Yeah, I'm going Dodgers as well. I feel bad because I want Atlanta to win. How about that Mookie Betts story, huh?
He's out, isn't he?
Yeah, he's had an infection, and he's lost something like 25 pounds.
Oh, wow.
He's down to like 150. He's not going to have any pop in his bat for a little while.
Yeah, that's no good. Oh, we wish him well.
Yes, definitely. Probably my favorite player in baseball right now.
Got some Sweet 16 action tonight, Ron. The number 4 Purdue Boilermakers at number 1 Houston Cougars. You're known as a Cougar. So, who do you have? When you put the wig on, you get really.
When I put the wig on, you got problems. It was so pleasant without you last week.
A dick across the face, though, when I get back.
Wait, what? What did you say? You can't say that. We're on the radio.
Grady Dick across the face. Kyle went.
I'm going with Houston.
Kyle's keeping it professional. Good job, Kyle. Get us back. All right.
I am going Houston.
I went Houston as well. Number 1 seed. Kyle, LOL. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, we're a rowdy bunch tonight.
Blank thing though.
Oh no, it's got that laughing face right there. It just
there it is.
All right, Ron. NCAA women's action tomorrow. Number 3 Oklahoma Sooners.
Who did you pick?
I said I went Houston as well. I went the Cougars.
Oh, okay.
I'm sticking with the Cougs. Tomorrow night, number 3 Oklahoma Sooners at number 2 UConn Huskies. NCAA women's action.
I'm going UConn. There's no reason for me not to.
UConn looks so good right now. So good. I went UConn as well. Like, I just think Paige Becker, and she already announced she's going to go into the draft. So I think she's going to want to have that final push like Caitlin did last year to at least get to the finals. So you're going to see her play out of her mind.
She's good.
Yeah, she is very good.
Now, imagine the WNBA with Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun. I'd like to see the two of them on the same team. I think that would be insane.
Oh, that would be.
I don't know where the fever.
But it's not going to happen.
Yeah, because she's going number 1. All right, and then we've got some racing, Ron. Let's see if we can bring it back again. March 30th. So this Sunday, you got the Cookout 400. I'm more excited about the word cookout than I am the race.
Oh, my God. You and me both.
Kyle can't wait. Martinsville. It's in Martinsville. We need a top 5 driver on. He runs this race extremely well. Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney has like 6 top 10s, few wins, top 5. Yep. So I went Ryan Blaney.
Yeah, I believe he's the favorite in this. I went with a little bit of a long shot.
Ooh.
But he used to be the king of this track. And that is Kyle Busch. I got a feeling that he's going to bring that back. I went with Kyle Busch. He's done it before. And, I think he can I think he can win this.
Kyle went with Kyle Larson. I like that, Kyle. But Kyle Larson's hot right now, so that's a big pick. That's a big pick. All right, so that was our predictions. Tune in next week. Obviously, we'll let you know how you did, Kyle. If you're out there, obviously every week, join us for our prediction segment. We'd love to add you to the chart
and win stuff,
and you can win some prizes. But Ron, we are winding down our show. But before we wind down our show, we've got a few things we've got to do. First and foremost, let's talk about the Hall of Fame. So the Sports Unfolded Sports polls are up, and we have some opportunities for you to nominate the next inductee into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. On the right there is everyone that's in. On the left, some of the ones that didn't get in. So we're going to have some more names on that left side soon, and couple more on the right. So for the NBA, again, join the Sports Unfolded Sports poll page on Facebook and cast your vote. Hakeem Olajuwon, David Robinson, Shaquille O'Neal, Alonzo Mourning, and Dikembe Mutombo. This one is very close. Shaq is I think a vote ahead of Hakeem. So if, again, you want to get one of these gentlemen into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame, cast your votes. As well as boxing, this one's been pretty much a knockout from the beginning. See what I did there? Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, Riddick Bowe, and Vitaly Klitschko Mike Tyson is the
You know, it was-
only one to receive votes.
It was Klitschko's birthday this week.
Oh, really? Somebody give him a gift. Put him in. Vote. At least get him a vote. One vote. One vote for somebody. The fact that Evander Holyfield's got nothing. I mean, Holyfield was a great boxer, but Mike Tyson right now, 100%. Again, check out Facebook Sports Unfolded Sports Poll page to cast your votes to help us induct our next inductee into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. As well, Ron, we are continuously looking for sponsors to get their names all across our show and help us and continue to grow. If you don't mind, would you tell all the wonderful people out there how they can become a sponsor of our show?
Absolutely. First of all, to sponsor the show, your ad will be here. We will read the ad. So not only will people see it, but it will be heard on the audio version for Spotify, Amazon, Red Circle, and many more. So send us an email at ribroadcasting.media@gmail.com. We can send you out the media kit that'll tell you all the information. But Eric, you know that it costs less than going to your local coffee shop, buying an iced coffee.
Ooh, that depends on what part of the country. New England.
People still do it with a cinnamon roll, which I am craving for right now.
I will
And
say
it costs less than that.
I will say this: eyes, ears. Again, we're on the radio as well, so you'd get your ad would be on the radio. So we can
do
WDJY FM 99.1 Dallas, Georgia, every Saturday at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
As well as
14,000 listeners.
990 WBOB in Providence, Rhode Island. They put us on Saturdays at 10 a.m. and SEC TV Public Access Channel 12 in Southeast Connecticut. And we are on every Tuesday at 10 p.m. So a lot of different ways you're going to have your business out there, and being part of our sponsorship would ultimately do that. We are on Twitch as well. So support the show. You can send stars and bits, and Patreon if you'd like to get some Sports Unfolded merch, cups, stickers, pens, more videos, everything available there for you to purchase. So check that out as well at RI Broadcasting on Patreon for Sports Unfolded gear. Ron, it is final thoughts time. And our final thoughts don't necessarily have to be about anything sports related. It could be about anything happening in the world today. You are first this week. So please enlighten us with your final thoughts.
I'm loving that I'm going first because I have more than one.
Yes, go, buddy. Enlighten.
The first thing I want to say is rest in peace, George Foreman. We lost a legend this week. That is not going to be good when we do our year-end show. Let me tell you. George Foreman, one of the greatest of all time. And he will sorely be missed. He was such a wonderful personality, too. I mean, he was fantastic. So rest in peace. Hope your family, gets through this difficult time this week. Also, 7.7 on the Richter scale earthquake in Myanmar/Burma. That's, there's a little kind of thing there with the country. They're in a civil war at this point. So at least 150 have already been listed as dead, including in Thailand, close by Thailand, that a building that was under construction had collapsed and killed some people as well. So we wish them all the best, and hopefully they can find the remaining people that are missing, and hopefully they're all okay. But just know that the hearts go out to all those people. And also, apparently, there was a flood in South America. along the Amazon. So they're dealing with a natural disaster as well. It didn't say the date and when it happened, so I don't know, but I saw the article today, and there's been people that are missing from small villages along that river.
Wow.
So we wish them the best as well. Hopefully everybody can be found there as well.
Well said, Ron. Well said. My final thoughts, because I have two as well. First and foremost, congrats to Deion Sanders inking a new deal, 5 years, $54 million deal to stay with the Colorado Buffaloes. I still think this is not going to be a 5-year deal because I really feel like Deion's going to explore the NFL once his son gets drafted and that team struggles and they're going to be looking for a coach. I could see Deion, jumping ship. But, think about where he's come from and what he's been able to do at the college ranks from a coaching standpoint. I never expected it. It's kind of crazy to think about, but he is considered one of the top coaches in the sport today. And, getting that deal, putting him over $10 million a year, almost $11 million, is pretty damn impressive. So congrats to Deion on that. And then my final thought. I want to give our condolences out to the Gardner family, Brett Gardner, his son, losing his life. Miller is his name, 14 years old, after a vacation trip. Just sad to see Brett Gardner, obviously a Yankee, former Yankee, and been a fan of his for many years, but I'm sure his family's dealing with, this major tragedy. 14, way too young. So I wish them the best in, getting through this. Cannot be easy. So our condolences go out to the Gardner family on that tragedy as well. But Ron, that has been our show tonight. We have had a blast. I want to thank everybody that joined us live tonight. Kyle, Bryce, James jumped on for a few minutes there as well. You guys have been awesome every single week. Thank you for the support. Again, if you are watching us afterwards, please join us live every Friday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. So many different ways you can watch us. Like us on all our social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, MeWe. We're on everything. Not hard to find us if you really want to. As well as we've got some big, things coming up where we may be doing some live shows in different locations. We've got NFL Draft Watch Party, which we do every single year. Really excited about that. Less than a month away. So, again, continue to like, share, follow our show, and join us. Tell your friends about it. And don't forget, all we ever want every single show is that we finally get some peace on earth. So, Ron, you take care.
Have a great night, everyone.